This is disastrous. Hello, everyone. Andrew just recorded 30 minutes of himself talking to himself and then decided that 30 minutes wasn't good enough. So instead, he wants to talk to himself for a further hour.
Okay, no, not like a whole hour. Listen, I finished recording, right? And then I was just doing my normal surfing the internet, and I was like, man, I could easily continue talking, not about Christmas, but just about music in general. I was talking about Christmas music during it. Just leave. Add this at the end, all right? Add this at the end, all right? This won't be an hour. Watch.
Add you and me at the end?
Okay, no. Okay, 30 minutes we just recorded?
Yeah.
Keep that.
Keep that?
This is the continuation. Maybe put like a black screen that explains like Andrew waited like 15 minutes before saying he wanted to do more. All right.
I'm just going to leave this bit in. I'm going to leave.
Sure.
Let you get done.
Sure, leave.
Adam's in another call. He wants to record. We're not going to.
Adam doesn't understand music like I do.
True.
Kanye rant. It's not about Kanye. I'll bring up Kanye, maybe. Okay. Maybe if he's lucky.
Enjoy.
Let's go! Alright. So, the reason I actually really wanted to record is because when I was done with my my little 30 minutes I just did, I went and browsed YouTube because I want to listen to Linus and Lucy off the Peanut soundtrack, like I was telling you I loved. But then, after I was done, I was going through the recommended videos, and you know that there's that one song. It's have like a Merry. Now I need to pull it up again because I don't even remember what it's called. Wonderful Christmas Time. You know, they go simply having a wonderful Christmas time. That is by Paul McCartney. I had no idea that was by Paul McCartney. And then that kind of just like blew my mind. It's like, whatever, okay, you know. And I further looked in the recommended, and then it was the Happy Xmas, War is Over, and that's the one where it's like, so this is Christmas. Okay, that's by John Lennon. Does every Beatle have a Christmas song? Speaking of Beatles, since we're on music, you know that song Black Beatles from like 2016? Or, I don't know, dude, that feels like so long ago. That song has such a good hook, but the rest is just ass. You know, you're hyping up? Hyping up, Michael? But that girl is a real crowd pleaser. When her friends bone bleed. And then it just gets worse and worse. He should have just stopped. He should have said that girl's a real crowd pleaser and stop. The rest of the song is ass. I don't even know who made that song. Okay, hold on. Who made this song? Ray Samerd? This guy hasn't had any hits since then. He dropped the one good song. Oh, he dropped Christmas music. Let me listen to this. Sway Lee and Ray Simard Eardrummers, Christmas at Sway's. I'm listening to this right now. This is mid. This is like mid as shit. I ain't listening to that. Catching me dead. I'd rather listen to Black Beatles. There's a real cloud pleaser. Small world of friends you know both. Maybe the song isn't as bad as like getting hate. No, it's just bad. He has like one good line. But it's a fat beat. Speaking of fat beats, Adam joined the chat and he said, "Uh-oh, incoming the Kanye rant. It's time. The Kanye rant. Let's go." All right, where do I start? He's a complicated man. I feel like over the past few months, gee, I don't know where it started. Um, let me. I think it started okay, like a year ago, when I was like deep diving into different genres of music. I was like, and I just deep mostly progressive rock back then. But I listened to My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, and I thought, man, I died. I thought I was like one of those white boys who didn't like rap music, but this is banging. Anyway, so I listened to that, and I don't know what it was, but I got an itch, and I was like, let's listen to some more Kanye. Uh, I think next the album I listened to was Yeezus, I want to say, which is weird. Nobody's second Kanye album should be Yeezus. Yeezus is like him shit posting. Like, okay, I said earlier, Black Midi was audio shit posting. This is really audio shit posting. It's industrial hip hop, for lack of a better. I think that's actually what it is classified as. But like that in 2013, that was banging. Okay, it is so beautiful how like an on-site, no cap. I actually like on-site because it starts with just the weird, it sounds like he auto-tuned a shit, like diarrhea, just. But then eventually it goes, and the drums kick in, and then you got a beat out of it. You got a beat out of chaos. That's jam. Anyways, after On Site, obviously next to the album is Black Skinhead. That song is powerful. Let me tell you, you thought Power was a good like hype song, but it goes, hey, oh, you ain't listening to Black Skinhead. That shit banging. Holy. Okay, enough of that song. Then you've got I Am God. That's kind of boring. It got some good parts, but it's mostly just like the harsh beat, like oh my god, and then he just kind of does his rhymes, whatever. Honestly, Kanye is definitely a producer rapper. I mean, like this isn't like a controversial take. His singing most of the time is just like whatever, but his beats are so good you have to stick with it. Hold on, let me check my phone. Next, New Slaves. New Slaves is another one of those where the beat just kind of like goes off. He doesn't even have great singing on this one. Actually, the worst singer I've ever seen from him actually kind of fits. So if you look up the New Slaves, like he sang it on Saturday Night Live, and that video is funny because his singing is awful. He's basically doing spoken word. Like he goes up there, the beat goes, and he just goes, "My mama was raised in an era when clean water was only served to the fairer skin." Okay, he's just going like that. It sounds like terrible, but it's kind of fitting given the context of the song. It just doesn't have enough energy. But next on Yeezus, album shut and closed. So from here on, you're like, from this point in the album, you're just like, okay, he's experimenting. Some heavy noise he's pushing here. What can he do with it? Of course, it's like heavy, he can do on-site, like Skinhead, but can he get more intricate with it? Can he do something a little, touching? And then Hold My Liquor hits. Ooh! Ooh, that song's jamming. It's like the harshest beat, but it's look, okay. This is also not a hot take. Kanye is at his best when he's really introspective, and he does that again on Hold My Liquor. Like, okay, if I'm gonna look up, let me look this up. Best Kanye West songs. Aside from like maybe Stronger and a couple other hits, his best songs, everyone will agree, is when he's like really introspective. Like Ultralight Beam. Ultralight Beam was the beginning of Christian Kanye, I guess if you want to call it that. you know, let's see. Okay, this isn't a good example. Number 2 on this list is the Paris song. Okay, that's not introspective Kanye. New Slaves is kind of okay. Runaway. Runaway is a banger. Real Friends is a banger. You know what I'm saying? All right, okay, where was I? I was back at Yeezus. Let me go through Yeezus. I'm in it. You know, I'm in it just feels like I Am a God, but a little better. Blood on the Leaves. That's another good one off this. Guilt Trip, Send It Up, whatever. Those are both skippable. Bound 2. Bound 2 is just him saying, like, hey, this album, you know, this one's whatever, you know, this one might not been for you. This one's a little harsher. It's a little more experimental. But he lets you know on Bound 2, he's still got the chipmunk soul, you know, what they call it, what is it? The chipmunk style soul samples. He has those all over. He's like, yeah, I still know how to make my old beats. I'm making this is better, you know? After Yeezus, I don't know what I listened to. Maybe it was Graduation. I think it was Graduation. So I listened to Graduation after Yeezus. Graduation is just kind of like, it's a stadium album. You know, if you get a big stadium, you start bumping that. He even says it in Big Brother. I played that song just to like get myself able to talk about it. The first 2 words he says in the song Big Brother, which is one of the better songs off the album, is stadium status. That's what he went for with this album. He just wanted to make shoot, I don't know what I'm doing with this. Okay, maybe it's time to stop the Kanye rant. Okay, no, I'm gonna stop talking about all his albums. I'm just gonna he dropped Don the Deluxe. All right. This like just like a few days ago, 5 days ago, I think. Which is weird. It's just Donda, but with like 5 extra tracks. It's like, okay, I guess. I don't know. I was more excited for Donda Deluxe before it came out. I was like, you know, I was kind of like, oh, when's it gonna come out? When's it gonna come out? And then it kind of came out, and I didn't even hear about it. And honestly, I don't even care because I did hear about it. It's just like he threw a couple more part 2s on there. Life of the Party, that's a banger. At least 3 Stacks verse is a banger. I don't like Kanye's verse on it, but 3 Stacks verse hits so hard. He got Andre 3000 on it. He actually released that one explicit, which is interesting because nothing else on Donda was released explicit, but there's a single of Life of the Party that is explicit. I know it's because he said like after Ye, he said no more swearing on my albums, and he's like he's sticking with it because he did release the explicit Life of the Party as a single, separate of the album. The album version of Life of the Party is clean. It has bleeps on it, swear words. So yeah, Donda Deluxe, honestly overrated. I'd already heard most of the leaks. Like, what are the new songs? Up from the Ashes. Up from the Ashes. Honestly, it's skippable. What was another one of the new? Never Abandon Your Family. It's alright. I ain't in the mood for it right now. He had another part 2 or something. So Donda Deluxe wasn't that great. But I swear, Kanye has some of the... This is another not... He's got so many leaks. Like, I don't know if he was like the first artist I went into with like... and started looking for their leaked music. But he has so much leaked music. Literally, he could like... open Audacity, or not Audacity, open FL Studio, put like 4 notes in, and it would be on the Kanye leak tracker because those fuckers got everything that guy's ever made on that tracker. It's like it's just, okay, if you don't know what I'm talking about, there's like a Google Sheets out there and has every like Kanye song like ever, and it has like alternate versions of them. Like, oh, here's a version of like, let's say, oh, they have a early version of My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, like the entire album. And it's it goes, this copy is for Hype Williams. I think that's because Hype Williams is one of the guys working on like the Runaway film he did for My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, and he needed to know what the song sounded like. And anyways, those all leaked. Point is, everything Kanye has ever made is on that Kanye tracker. And one of the most surprising things on there, if you're not into Kanye, he's got a whole album he just ignored. It's called Yandi. All right, he just didn't drop this. Eventually, okay, yeah, most of the tracks on it have been reworked into newer albums, either Jesus is King or Donda. Like Selah was on Jesus is King. Alien Space X is honestly like one of the songs I think we just still haven't gotten. I think it's one of the last ones we haven't gotten. Everything We Need, that was reworked into Donda. Hurricane, Donda. New Body sucks. I'm glad that's not reworked in anything. Ozark, I don't know. Spread Your Wings is alright. I used to like it. Now it's just kind of like, whatever. Sky City, whatever. The Garden, whatever. Okay, you know what? Maybe Yandi is overrated. Last Name's pretty good. I should stop talking about Kanye now. But last thing I'm gonna say is nothing. That's the last thing I'm gonna say. I guess we'll never know. Let me go through my music folder here. There's so much more I could talk about. Off. The game Off. This is a quick. The game Off is a really great game. Has a pretty good soundtrack. I know Zane's probably going to be listening to this and he's going to be like, no, I'm going to cut this shit. Off is terrible. Don't play that game. Off has a really good soundtrack for a RPG Maker game. Most of it is like unlistenable because it's video game soundtrack. But it gives me like chills, dude. Like you listen to Flesh Maze Tango. That okay, maybe that's a bad one. Oh. Okay, yeah, most of this is boss fight music. But anyways, it's really good and unique and it fits the aesthetic of the game. Let's talk about something else. Oh. Let's talk about Death Stranding. Death Stranding. Honestly, as a game, I just kind of went into and I was like, you know what? It's by Hideo Kojima. I really like the Metal Gear games. Let's just get this over with, you know? It was kind of one of those games where I just played it just to be like, yeah, I played Death Stranding. It was whatever. But I loved that game, man. It had such a good story. And the soundtrack... Okay, no. Let me go. Gameplay. Gameplay, honestly, people are like, yeah, it's just a walking sim. Yeah, but have you played it? Yeah, but have you played it? It's such a good walking sim. Sheesh. I'd go deliver another 200 parcels. Then, there are the somber moments in the game where you're just kind of peacefully exploring a new area. You know? And this music starts to fade in. And it'll pop up in like the bottom right of your screen. It'll say, now playing. Easy Way Out. Low Roar. Whatever the record label is. And I heard that and I was like, yo. The album by Low Roar, Zero, is probably probably the best thing to come out of Iceland ever. I think he's Icelandic, right? Well, I know the dude who is in Low Roar because I think it's just like one guy. He's American, but he moved to Iceland. Yeah, he's an American immigrant. But that is the best thing to come out of Iceland. Man, I don't know exactly how to explain it, but it's like that album captured how do I put it? How do I put this into words? It's hard to put in the words because it's like I guess the only way you could put it is it's the human element. It's just like visible throughout every track on that album. It's almost like it's very sorrowful, but it's also very like happy in the same you gotta listen to it. You gotta sit down. You gotta. I want you. All right. If anybody's listening to this, including you, Zane, because you're editing this, you gotta go to your room, close the blinds, turn off all the lights, plug in those earbuds, listen to the entirety of Low Roar Zero, the album. Come back to me and tell me they're not a good band. You won't be able to. Why? Because that is so good. Some highlights off the album. If I have to pick just three, I'll Keep Coming, Half Asleep, and Phantoms. Those are the if you don't want to if you're impatient, you don't want to listen to the entire album, just listen to those three. All right. And I guarantee if you listen to those three, you're gonna want to listen to more. Because man, it's like some beautiful stuff. Obviously, Low Roar has like 4 other albums, which they all have like some good stuff. The album Once in a Long, Long While, that's the one I think that's most frequently in Death Stranding, and it fits Death Stranding really well. But I it's not, it's game soundtrack music to me because it was featured so prominently in Death Stranding. But it's still beautiful, I want to say. It's still really good, but I feel like maybe after the 4th track in the album, it just all seems to blend together. Their self-titled albums is their first. If Once in a Long, Long While blended together, then their self-titled album is just one big mosh pit. Because a lot of it sounds very similar. Ross, I haven't listened to Ross a lot, but I remember I was making Mensa merch when I was listening to it for the first time, and I felt really inspired by one of the tracks I was listening to. I actually wrote some of the lyrics on one of the shirts. And then they have one more album called Maybe Tomorrow, which I haven't even listened to fully. That one's their newest one. I haven't found anything that I really stuck out to me on that one. Most of their discography reminds me almost of the David Bowie album, The Rise and Fall of Ziggy Stardust. Not in the fact that they sound similar at all, because they definitely don't sound similar at all, but it's the fact that they have 3 really good tracks and the rest just blends together. Go to Ziggy Stardust and give me your 2 favorite tracks off that album. It'll be 5 Years and Starman, because those songs are just really good, but the rest of the album is just whatever. I guess Soul Love is all right, but those are the really good ones. My favorite David Bowie album is definitely Scary Monsters. I originally only listened to it because of the JoJo stand in part 7. I think it's Dio's stand is named Scary Monsters, and I listened to that song, and it's really good. Oh, Scary Monsters also has Ashes to Ashes, which is a continuation almost of Space Oddity, which is one of his most famous songs. I'm going to briefly talk about Girl Band. They have at least one good song. That's all I'm going to say. All right, let's talk about King Crimson. So, shoot, when was this? This was a while ago. Sheesh. So back in 2019, I started listening to Pink Floyd because I would listen to music while I'm playing Minecraft on this one server called Minewind, or is it Minewind? Don't know. I never got that figured out. And somebody in the chat who was frequently talking there said they liked listening to Pink Floyd and got really into this stuff. Not like some of their earlier, later stuff, but the stuff everyone knows, like Dark Side of the Moon, The Wall, Wish You Were Here. And I was like, man, that's really good. I wanted music similar to that. Found King Crimson. as anyone will tell you who has listened to it, In the Court of the Crimson King is probably one of the best progressive rock albums ever composed. But I prefer King Crimson Red, because Red, although not having the what's it called, I guess you'd say, the glamour, I guess, associated with like tracks like Epitaph, which is just like a 9-minute good song. It's a good song. Red feels more personal, maybe a little heavier too, like just in the instruments, and the sound overall is just a little heavier. Fallen Angel, Red, One More Red Nightmare, Providence, and then when you're getting used to the harsh feel, they hit you with Starless, which is imagine if I Talk to the Wind off of Court of the Crimson King was 200 times better. That's what Starless is. And the rest of the album's just like, okay, whatever. Cat Food. Nobody listens to Cat Food. I usually stop listening to the album after Starless. Cat Food. Cat food, cat food, cat food. Recently, I've been listening to a lot of Nujabes. He reminds me a lot of A Tribe Called Quest. I haven't even listened to that much Tribe Called Quest, so maybe it's not a good comparison. But everything I've heard, obviously, with Nujabes, his hits are the Lovesick Hexology. I really like. I can't tell if I think Lovesick 1 or Lovesick 2 is better. I think it really depends on the mood. If I'm in the sad boy mood, like, it's late at night and I'm just chilling, I'm going to listen to Lovesick Part 2. But if it's like the middle of the day and I'm driving somewhere, I'm going to listen to Lovesick Part 1. That's a perfect way to describe it. Like when I'm driving to school, y'all, and you see me and I'm with my windows down blaring something, listen closely, you'll probably hear Lovesick Part 1. Speaking of like sad music, Radiohead is such a bizarre like group to me. They will drop like some really like hard hitting emotional tracks, and then they'll drop Fitter Happier, which is just like a text-to-speech voice going fitter, happier, more productive, and he's just saying voices. And on the same album, they'll drop exit music for a film, which is like, it's very haunting and like low. But as most Radiohead fans will tell you, their best album isn't actually OK Computer, which is what I feel like they're most known for. It is instead Kid A, which is when they started getting funky with computers. They were always funky with computers after OK Computer. But Kid A, they like, if you listen to everything in its right place, which is the beginning, it sets a tone for the album in that it's like there's no real instruments. It's just like all computer. It's like synthesizers and then some like weird messed up voices saying like, yesterday I woke up sucking on a lemon. Yesterday I woke up sucking on a lemon. I also had this theory that Amnesiac was just Kid A, but like the schizophrenic cousin. What was the song? Morning Bell. Yeah. I haven't done a deep dive into this, but I just listened to like Kid A in the morning and then Amnesiac in the afternoon, and I was like, wait, Morning Bell is on both their albums. It's like the same exact lyrics, but Amnesiac's version is just it's a schizophrenic cousin. I need to like do a deep listen to both of those and compare them. I'm probably like stating this like, oh yeah, that's the entire point of the album, dumbass. I just figured it out. All right, sure, the album's from 2001, but it's only been 20 years. I don't even like Radiohead that much. That's a lie. I do like Radiohead. Funny story. I was going through the Hotline Miami 2 soundtrack on my computer the other day, and I found a song I had like never heard before in the game. It was track 10. It was called like Simahem, Simma space Hem, and it's this like Swedish rock song. And I was like, this isn't anything Hotline Miami like. I still don't know exactly. I think it played in like Jake's apartment in the game, but only in the Swedish version of the game. But it's on the soundtrack internationally. It's a really good song. It sounds nothing like Hotline Miami, which sounds mostly just like video game synthwave music. This sounds just like an actual rock song. It's in Swedish. It's really good. Listen to it. Listen to everything I've said on this podcast. It's just me talking about music. Not even good music. Let me tell you. Speaking of, actually, no, I've mostly been talking about good music. Like, I've been talking about Radiohead, Kanye. Why don't we talk about the more bad stuff I like to listen to? Talk about Black Country New Road. I try to get people to listen to Black Country New Road, but they're like, why would I want to listen to a 10-minute song called Sunglasses? Well, let me tell you, because a 10-minute song called Sunglasses is one of the best songs I've heard. Yeah, no, this is I'm cutting it here. You should listen to everything I have mentioned. Actually, I started talking about rap with Kanye. I'm gonna finish talking about rap. So if I said earlier that Kanye is not the best singer all the time, he's more of a producer rapper. Kendrick Lamar is my favorite rapper in terms of voice. He has a very unique voice, and Good Kid, Mad City is very good album where most of it is when it's shining. My favorite song off the album is Real. I'm gonna play it. At first I listened to Real and I'm like, haha, this is the funny schizophrenic song. Get it? Because they keep going, I'm real, I'm real, I'm really, really real, I'm real, I'm real, I'm really, really real. And then I started listening to the lyrics and I was like, it's kind of some heavy hitting stuff. You love him, you love her, love her. Yo, just listen to this. Woo!